3,000 tons of salmon are imported into South Africa each year. Salmon is flown into South Africa from Norway, Scotland, Canada and Chile. Transportation costs from remote areas, air freight fees, handling charges, exchange rates, insurance and import duties all contribute to a volatile price mechanism. Smart farms will produce a superior quality and fast-growing salmon species within close proximity of the primary markets. There is an annual production capacity of 500 tons and 1,000 tons being considered with proven and appropriate technology. The farm will provide year-round production, with harvesting being done on demand daily or weekly. Land-based fish farming has been made possible through improved recirculation technology. Recirculation technology has been around for some time. However, the biomass modeling and water treatment technology has improved to reduce the overall cost of production. The facility is a closed containment system that is not subject to unstable environmental conditions such as high-energy coastline, sea predators, sea lice, caused by unsustainable fish densities common in open ocean ranching, mussel fouling, algal blooms, and storms. There are no environmental concerns of feces fallout and the escaping of farmed salmon mixing with wild fish. Wild fish stocks are in decline and have been for some time. Urgent measures need to be taken to create a balance between wild seafood catches and farmed seafood. More than 90% of all salmon consumed worldwide is farmed, so the domestication of the species is well known, with over 1 million tons being farmed annually. A closed containment system allows minimal intervention with the external environment.
Salmon aquaculture is an important contributor to the economies of many regions, including British Columbia. Fish farming generates hundreds of jobs, mostly in coastal communities, with limited employment opportunities. For salmon aquaculture to continue, it must become far more sustainable. Industrial net cage farming has lost the support of the public, lost its social license, and is losing support in the marketplace. If we want a future with healthy wild salmon, aquaculture jobs in coastal communities, and a secure share of global markets that are demanding sustainability, then Canada needs to invest in the future. Invest in closed containment salmon farming.
I'm an admirer of leadership, and what we see here today is leadership. What Sea Choice and the Overweight Food Group has accomplished is getting a sustainable seafood product into the hands of everyday consumers.
We see definitely the future would be in closed contained water systems.
I believe closed containment can work very well for salmon.
Some net cage proponents claim that closed containment isn't feasible due to potential technological and economic barriers, yet professionals working with closed containment farming say otherwise.
Closed containment salmon farms are working right now. In Washington State, there's a good example of a coho farm that's using RAS technology with great success.
RAS, or recirculation technology, has made some incredibly advancements over the last, I would say, 10 years. That, to me, is proof that recirculation systems are getting a foothold even in the salmon industry now. Right now, our production is around 1,000 metric tons of food fish.
One reason net cage industrial farming is profitable is due to externalized costs. At present, the salmon farming industry pays nothing for waste disposal. Fish feces and uneaten feed pellets go directly into the ocean. Our environment and wild marine species pay the price that secures the industry's profits.
I believe that if everything's put together properly using the right resources, that the cost of production can be lower than the alternative production methods.
We don't use any antibiotics and no chemotherapeutants, and our mortality is exceedingly low. We don't have any issues in terms of animal health welfare.
There are definite technological advantages to closed systems, and I think it will be economically viable.
The west coast of South Africa, north of Cape Town, has traditionally been a significant contributor to seafood production. Overfishing has resulted in traditional inshore catches such as the west coast rock lobster declining. This is evident by the poverty and lack of employment in many historic west coast fishing towns, which contain a significant number of abandoned fish factories. The cold Atlantic sea temperature on the west coast of South Africa is between 10 and 18 degrees and is optimum for salmon to be produced. Salmon in South Africa is perceived as a premium product, confirmed by the high price it commands and the consistent and growing demand. According to SARS import records, there has been a steady increase in imports year on year, with imports in 2010 exceeding 3,000 tonnes. Retail prices vary from 180 Rand per kilogram for fresh whole salmon to 700 Rand per kilogram for imported filleted and smoked Scottish salmon. Competition consists of imported salmon, locally farmed trout, and other seafood and fish products. Locally produced salmon will always have a margin of safety when compared to imported salmon due to importation costs. Salmon is a niche seafood product that is extremely popular and expensive in South Africa. Significantly, salmon is not purchased as an alternative to wild-caught fish, but as a luxury alternative. Although salmon is expensive, it is always available, and this creates consistent buying behavior. Locally produced salmon will have significant effects on the supply chain, as it will be fresher, close to the primary market, and will be able to be supplied year-round. An ideal site has been identified for the salmon facility. The site has a history of mariculture activities such as lobster processing and is well positioned geographically within a local West Coast fishing community within 3 hours drive from Cape Town.